Aliens?
Aliens.
Yes.
But maybe no. Welcome to the show, Aliens, yes, but maybe no, with Josh and Travis. I'm Travis.
I'm Josh.
And this is an otherworldly podcast as ambiguous as our title. Welcome to the show, Josh.
Thank you. I feel good. I feel good today.
Welcome to the show, Travis. That's what you should say.
Oh, welcome to the show, Travis.
Thank you, Josh. It's a pleasure to be here as always.
And welcome all you faithful, loyal listeners.
Name everyone.
Fennel.
Fennel, yep.
Chili.
Uh-huh.
Sly.
Uh-huh, got it.
And I think those are, like, when I think of faithful and loyal, those are the top three for me.
Yep, those are the only ones.
And so our topic today is oddballs.
Spaceballs!
Weird balls.
Balls from space, man. Someone should make a movie about that.
We're not ball experts.
No. So we're going to have to change the title of this from Mystery Spheres to Balls. That's going to, I think, get us to those numbers we're looking for the second quarter.
Yeah, a whole new demographic. We can do something. We can make that happen.
Yeah. Boost those listeners.
We might get banned.
Well, that's the best way to get people to pay attention to our show.
That's true.
Got to get canceled.
But yeah, odd, weird, goofy, interesting spheres.
Balls.
There's some crazy spheres out there.
They're certainly the ear. I said ear. I think I'm starting to take on an accent.
That'd be cool.
Known for my accents, I am.
Yeah, an accentman.
Yeah. Okay, so take it away, Josh.
So throughout history, some of the strangest objects ever discovered were seamless metal orbs that seemed to move on their own, metallic spheres seen flying through the sky, and massive stone balls carved thousands of years ago with no clear explanation for why they exist or how they were made. So we're talking not about strange balls, strange spheres.
Oh man, this is gonna be a tough one to get through.
They've been rolling through all of ancient civilization, science, archaeology, and conspiracy.
Busting onto the scene, you might say.
So let's dive in.
Balls busted all through history.
To our balls episode.
Balls.
Yes.
All right, so we're going to get into the Betz Mystery Sphere in Florida. This takes place in 1974. Great year.
Yeah.
Our story starts in the spring of 1974 on Fort George Island, just outside Jacksonville, Florida. Heard of it? After a brush fire burned through part of their 88-acre wooded property, the Betz family stumbled across something strange lying in the debris. A perfectly smooth metal sphere about the size of a bowling ball. At first, it didn't seem extraordinary. It looked like a silver cannonball and weighed about 20 pounds. It had no seams, welds, screws, or access points, and had a small stamped triangular symbol on the surface. The object was incredibly durable. Later tests showed it could withstand up to 120,000 psi of pressure without deforming. You know what psi is, Josh? You familiar with it?
Yeah.
It's not penis stands inside.
Oh, then no. What is it?
Pounds per square inch.
Oh, okay.
Of pressure without deforming.
That explains when I was Googling it.
You were just spelling out penis stands inside?
Yeah. No, so I actually Googled how much PSI it would take to cut a diamond. And it's between 60,000 and 90,000. 90,000 PSI if they're getting like really intricate fine cuts. So this is
stronger than a diamond?
Yeah, 120,000 PSI is a lot.
Wow, yeah, incredible. All right, so once inside the Betz home, the sphere began exhibiting behaviors that made it impossible to ignore. It rolled on its own, stopping, changing direction, and sometimes returning to the person who rolled it. Pretty cool.
Yeah, I'd be freaked out.
Feel like rolled back to you? I think that would be pretty cool.
I mean, if I knew what it was, like if I purchased this thing and it did that, yeah, I'd be stoked. I'd be showing it off. But just finding it and it does that, I'd be super scared.
I would just assume that it was purchased if I found something like this and it was supposed to do that.
In the 70s, though, man,
yeah, why not?
It just seems super high tech.
I don't know. It's just a steel ball, man. Get over yourself.
Maybe. Let's find out.
It appeared to respond to sound, especially guitar notes, producing a humming or vibrating tone. So do you think they took this down to the beach, laid down a blanket and then just started playing guitar at it, like that scene in Barbie?
No, I think one of the guys was playing guitar and they actually heard the sound and they didn't know where it was coming from. They figured out through testing, trial and error, like walking around playing the guitar, that the ball was responding by humming to the tones of the guitar, which is nice. So if it is extraterrestrial, it's nice to know that they recognize music. I want to hear alien music now.
Yeah, take it on the road. It could be nice backup vocals.
Yeah.
Okay. The family dog reacted badly, whining and fleeing the room when the sphere made noise. That's sad.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Makes sense.
When placed on a glass coffee table, it would roll toward the edge but stop before falling. When the table was tilted to force it off, the sphere instead rolled uphill or up table.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It's wild. Nice, fun party trick, though.
Yeah. I would just throw parties.
I would say, come look at my ball. Back one. Yeah, it's big, though.
It's heavy.
It's big and heavy. When shaken and placed on the ground, it behaved like a Mexican jumping bean, vibrating and trying to move away. Its magnetic properties appeared to increase after prolonged movement. And, Josh, after sitting in direct sunlight, it emitted a low hum and remained warm to the touch for days.
Weird.
What do you think of that?
I don't know. I mean, just one of those things would be weird.
It's wild that it's saying warm to the touch, because usually like that heat from metal would dissipate after a while unless it's left in the sun.
Yeah, that means it was like harnessing the sun.
Or storing it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like a battery.
Could be. I mean, it is weird. And I am not the only one that thinks it's weird.
Are you leading into something?
Yeah.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh yeah. So at this point, the story, it could have stayed local. A weird curiosity maybe exaggerated over the time, but it didn't. Because other people started seeing the sphere move too. Skeptical reporters, visitors, witnesses who walked in doubting the story and then walked out unsettled. And eventually, the U.S. Navy got involved.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. And these people got really popular before this. You know, they were...
The Navy?
No.
The Navy got popular? Oh, the
Betz.
The Betz
family. Yeah,
Okay.
Their phones would not stop ringing and they only had one line. So people were having difficulty getting a hold of them because they were constantly on the phone answering questions and stuff. They weren't a huge fan of that, but the Navy called and eventually got a hold of them. The U.S. Navy wanted to get involved. The Betz family said yes. They loaned the sphere to the naval station Mayport for about 2 weeks. They signed an agreement guaranteeing its return if it wasn't government property. Smart.
Yeah, but like what designates something as government property? The government would just say like, oh yeah, that's ours. We lost it in this. We did like a fake naval battle and we were shooting out cannonballs.
Yeah, they could say whatever they want.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in the 70s, like internet wasn't around.
Or they could just say it's ours now.
Yeah. They're like, haha, sucker. I touched it last. It's mine.
Yeah, finders keepers.
Losers weepers.
So the Navy's findings on this, it's not an unexploded ordnance, so it's not going to blow up at some point. It's not a bomb. Not government technology. It's not dangerous. Confirmed stainless steel alloy 431. Detected 4 magnetic poles, 2 positive and 2 negative, arranged in an unusual configuration. So they didn't find anything. They didn't know what it was, really.
Well, I mean, they ran it through some tests, and not finding anything is kind of interesting also.
It is. It's odd. It's an oddball.
It is an oddball. So they ran the sphere through X-ray analysis. So although the Navy publicly stated that X-ray attempts were unsuccessful, a serviceman quietly returned the sphere with X-ray images included.
Weird.
Those images showed, are you ready for it?
Yeah.
An outer shell roughly 1/2 inch thick. Multiple internal layers of steel with different densities. A hollow central cavity about the size of an apple. 3 smaller metal spheres inside the cavity. Thin wire-like structures attached to the inner spheres. That's wild.
That's hard to wrap my head around. Just thinking if a human were to make this, how? It's not a 2-piece thing. It's just an entire solid ball. There's no lines or any entry point anywhere.
No, but I mean, you can do this. You make this in layers. Like you start with the innermost layer and then you just put layers around it. Like there are logical ways to do this, but this is like, what is its purpose?
Right.
Those inner balls. There are toys that are very similar to what this ball is doing, where you can roll it and it will roll back to you. Maybe this invented that. You never know. It was the 70s.
It's true. They're coming up with some crazy stuff. So they received it back. The independent scientists came in and they kept testing it. So all these different people tested it. Dr. Carl Williston claimed the sphere emitted radio waves and contained traces of an unknown heavy element. Spooky. Dr. James Harder, an engineering professor, confirmed the internal complexity and claimed the material had an atomic number of 140, far beyond any known elements, which means dangerous? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because I think getting to an atomic number of 90, it takes a hadron collider or what we do to make some of these nuclear weapons, and those are in the 90s. So this is 50.
Is that right?
Atomic numbers above that.
I'm not a physicist. I don't have any follow-up questions for that.
Okay. Dr. J. Allen Hynek.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about him a handful of times.
Mm-hmm.
Former Project Blue Book advisor, skeptic turned believer. He reviewed the case and supported the findings as genuinely anomalous. So military checked it out. 3 scientists checked it out. Not any information on what it is or where it came from.
Yep.
Just how odd it is.
And nothing to compare it to.
Right.
It's wild.
Yeah. But at least they had the ball in their possession.
The ball was in their court. Huh?
It's true.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm working on something.
They got it back and now they're just chilling with a ball for the rest of their lives.
Huh. Interesting. So, the switcheroo and disappearance.
What?
Yeah. Go, Josh. It's going to get weird. Hold on to your butts.
I thought they were going to live happily ever after with their ball.
Those stories, they never play out the way you want. Not in this world.
Dang it.
Not when the U.S. Navy, the old U.S. Navy is involved.
That's true.
So if this story ended with unresolved test results, it would already be strange enough. But this is where things take a confusing turn. There was a National Enquirer incident. So the National Enquirer was like a magazine that you would see at check stands that would have all kinds of wild stuff claiming like, bad boy bites again and things like that.
Yeah.
Like sensational stuff to grab your attention.
They're great. I love those.
Yeah, they were great. I never bought one.
I never bought one either. I saw them at the register stand.
Yep. Anyway, so that's a thing that's you don't really see much anymore.
No.
The National Enquirer offered a cash reward for proof of extraterrestrial life, and a scientific panel was convened, including Hynek and Harder. The Betz family sent their son Terry with the sphere. A new character. Terry enters the match. During the event, Terry received a phone call claiming his mother had been injured. He rushed home, leaving the sphere behind. The Enquirer delayed returning the object, eventually admitted it had been taken to New Orleans under Navy guard for further testing.
What?
Oh, see, Navy, ruh-roh. When Terry finally retrieved it, the sphere was inert with no humming, vibrating, or movement. A visible seam was now present, the magnetic anomalies were gone, and X-rays showed no internal spheres, only dust.
Oh, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
Obviously a switcheroo, right?
Obviously a switcheroo. So do you think that the Betz family had all these tests done? Like, where were they able to get these tests run?
I mean, they've been in contact with scientists, so
Sure.
I think maybe they were able to figure that out.
So Dr. Harder believed the original sphere had been replaced. After this, the Betz family reported harassment. The family sold their home and they vanished from public life and never spoke about the sphere again. So that sucks.
Yeah.
I hate hearing this part of the story because this always comes up when people discover a thing. They always get harassed into like obscurity and it sucks. Have to change their life, pack everything up. And it was, more often than not, no fault of their own. They had just come across something that was weird and then suddenly they're the center of it and now they have to like uproot their entire family.
Yeah, and the whole reason they moved to this island was to kind of get away from the people. They moved from the city and then this all happened. That wasn't their thing. And they didn't make any money off of this. They didn't write a book. They didn't sell any rights. They didn't take the money from the Enquirer. The money was not a thing. I mean, they were already a fairly wealthy family. They weren't looking for fame or anything like that. So pretty convincing. Another thing about that phone call that Terry got, them saying that his mom was injured. When he got there, she was not injured. So it seemed as though that was a fake call to distract him from leaving the orb.
My eyes just bugged.
Yeah, it was agents and spies. So before the story runs away completely, it's important to slow down and look at the explanations that don't involve anything exotic, because there are reasonable sounding answers, even if they don't explain everything. So there's the industrial ball theory. The Navy suggested it was a large ball bearing or a check valve. Artist James Durling Jones claimed to have lost similar spheres from his vehicle years earlier. He said it was on the rack on top of his Volkswagen bus and fell off while he was driving. So a local supply company produced a new stainless steel ball with nearly identical size and weight. But the ones that they were producing, it wasn't exact, and it didn't have all the things on the inside, and it weighed like 12 pounds, but same size. So another one is the skeptoid analysis.
I don't like that name.
Suggested movement caused by an uneven stone floors, acoustic effects explained as resonance, and heat retention attributed to metal properties. I don't know. That's just, now it's metal. It does it. Like, come on, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here.
That's nothing. I could say that. Wouldn't mean anything.
Name every metal.
Yeah.
Name all metal properties.
Name everything that has retention. Huh?
Water.
Well, I don't know.
That's it.
So here are the remaining problems, though. So the ball was, if it was dropped or it fell off of this Volkswagen bus, I don't know why he had it up on the top rack anyways. That's a weird place to put it. Even if the ball rolled on its own, it going over a mile from a road is very unlikely, especially over a wilderness terrain.
Yeah.
No explanation for it rolling uphill. Acoustic responsiveness to specific frequencies. So it's not just any sound. That means it's not resonance. And then internal X-ray structure never fully explained. No one really knows what that was. And then the switcheroo, the old switcheroo, that still is unsolved.
Nobody knows where it went.
Yeah, there's theories that Hynek had one of those in his possession from a family member after he passed. That was in a list of things that he owned, but we don't know if it's the same one. But that's the Betz Sphere.
Okay.
More convincing than some of these for me.
Sure.
I mean, this is just, it hits a lot of the check marks that, I mean, scientific involvement.
Mystery.
Yeah.
Suddenly gone from public life. Bunch of questions left unanswered.
Yeah.
All the things Josh loves to hear about.
And they weren't trying to get money. They weren't trying to get fame.
Yep. Life was ruined.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, because this is the balls episode, we have more than one ball.
Sphere. It's the Sphere episode. I changed my mind. We're going to call it the Sphere episode.
Sure it is. Oh, damn it.
We have to.
You're gonna have to go back and change all of the times I have said balls.
To Sphere.
Yeah, now that you're gonna do it, I'm gonna say balls as often as I can just to make editing just a little trickier.
I'll just beep it out.
So we're gonna talk a little bit now about the Buga Sphere. Buga Sphere. That sounds fun.
The Buga Sphere. Yeah.
It's not a Buga Sphere, one word. It's the Buga, B-U-G-A, space sphere.
Yes.
Like, so hop in your time machine. Let's fast forward 50 years, and suddenly the story repeats, not in Florida, but in Colombia. And this time the sphere doesn't just roll, it flies.
Oh my gosh. I remember seeing, I mean, this was recent. Yeah.
Yeah, a year ago. Not even a year ago.
Yeah, I remember this blowing up on the socials and all that stuff.
It blew up?
No, not literally. There was lots of posts when it first happened because it got really popular.
So, like we said, about a year ago, March 2025, near Buga, Colombia, so named after a place instead of a family, like the previous. Witnesses reported a metallic sphere flying before recovering it. The object shows no welds or joints, with symbols carved into the surface.
Which is weird.
Yeah, pretty weird. X-ray findings, per researcher Jose Luis Velasquez, showed 3 layered metal shells, 9 microspheres inside. So just wrap your head around that.
Kind of similar.
Yep, exactly. Velasquez concluded the object was not human-made. Okay, I don't know how you conclude that, but
yeah, data, man.
Yeah, okay, yep, data. Some people argue the Buga Sphere could be approximately 12,000 years old, based on claimed radiocarbon dating results. But it's important to understand what is actually being dated and the limitations of that evidence. So
I'm going to argue that it is.
What?
I'm going to argue that it is, but I haven't done any research or looked into this much, but I'll argue it.
Okay.
Makes me feel good.
Okay. You're going to argue for it being 12,000 years old?
Yeah. Why not?
Sure. Okay, why not? What do you got to lose? Not much. Just your friends and respect.
Family.
Yeah, but you'll probably lose that.
Probably. I'm going to write a book. I won't own any of it.
Yep. The only thing you'll own is a bad drug problem.
Yeah.
So, organic metal inside the sphere received a radiocarbon date. Advocates, including UFO researcher Dr. Stephen Greer, have circulated reports saying a resin or organic sample found inside the sphere was tested using carbon-14 methods at the University of Georgia's Center for Applied Isotope Studies.
Okay.
They cite an approximate age of about 12,560 years, placing it near the end of the last ice age, the Younger Dryas period. That age is much older than known advanced metallurgy because mainstream science dates advanced metalworking and aluminum production to the modern era. Supporters argue that if this material is truly ancient, it would imply either unknown ancient technology far predating known civilizations or a non-terrestrial origin of the artifact. Which is why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Aliens, yes, but maybe no, huh?
It could be. I mean, the Younger Dryas, I've seen it talked about a handful of times, and it is fascinating. Like, if there was a big cataclysmic event and everything was wiped out and we had to reset and redo everything, because we're finding civilizations that are much older than modern science is telling us. So if there was advanced civilizations and they had some kind of knowledge, and it could line up with, they're from the future, like was that the last episode?
2 episodes ago where we talked about humans coming from the ground and evolving to be small with big eyes. That one.
The aliens are actually us, but from the future. I mean, who knows?
Oh, that's starting to catch a little traction with you, huh?
I'm not going to deny it. I'll argue
Okay.
that. I'll write a book about that.
Okay. I hope it all works out for you.
Thank you. It will.
I know. I believe in you.
So the Buga Sphere has some scientific pushback.
Yeah.
No verifiable, documented, continuous chain of custody from the alleged aerial sighting to recovery, to storage, and then to testing. We don't have GPS verified recovery, controlled collection, or sealed evidence logs. And why this matters is without a chain of custody, scientists can't rule out a post-recovery contamination, modification, substitution, or intentional hoaxing after the discovery.
Yeah. So they're learning their lesson from the Betz Sphere, where they let that fall into the hands of the National Enquirer, and then they could no longer trace.
Just everyone and their mother had it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember the video, because this is what was circulating a lot, is it showed the video of this thing flying and then kind of falling to the ground. There is a cut in the video.
Yep.
And then it shows the guy coming and picking up the orb, the sphere.
Yep.
Dare I say?
You did it.
I did.
You did it. You're just making work harder for yourself.
I know. I'll bleep it. I'll bleep some of them to make it sound like we're saying something real nasty.
Okay. So let's go back in time. What makes all of this more interesting is that spheres like these didn't start in the modern era. Humans have been finding and making perfect spheres for thousands of years. So in Costa Rica, the Diki spheres.
We learned how to say that.
Yeah. Dikis?
It's D-keys?
Yeah. D like key and keys like keys.
Or cheese.
Yeah. Dikis. So over 300, Josh.
That's a lot of balls.
300 nearly perfect stone spheres. That's a ton of balls. 300 times.
Those balls to the walls.
And to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And the sweat dripping off of them.
Okay. So 300 nearly perfect stone spheres.
You got me down this path.
Where did this happen?
This is on you. This is in Costa Rica.
Okay, good.
Costa Rica.
Phew.
So over 300 nearly perfect stone spheres in Costa Rica have been recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Wow.
Their sizes range from inches to over 8 feet and can weigh up to 16 tons.
This kind of feels like a Easter Island kind of thing. Almost.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of mystery around that too.
There's another island civilization that makes giant coins.
Oh, that's right.
And that is part of their currency.
Yeah.
And so having these coins they're handed down. They have a legacy, so they will stay with a family, and it helps signify wealth, having these giant coins.
I would make the biggest coin.
You would?
Yeah.
It would take you a long time.
Yeah.
I think that's what gives these things value.
Right.
Is the time it takes to make them. And I think that's kind of nice and probably very meditative to sit down and, roll a ball around till it becomes perfect. So picture a ball of Play-Doh and you put it in your hands and you roll it together till it becomes as close to a perfect sphere. Sorry, I put my hands in front of my mouth while I was doing that to show Josh rolling a ball of Play-Doh. And if you do that like between two surfaces, you can kind of grind something down through time.
So is that how they made these?
No,
you think?
I have no idea. So the Costa Rican stone spheres are one of the largest, most deliberate sculptural projects in the pre-Columbian Americas. And they were created by a culture that left almost no written record behind. So this is important because the stones have no known practical function or utility and were a massive investment of labor. So this is like what we're talking about, right?
Right. Yeah.
What gives them value is the amount of time it takes to make them.
Right. They said they're created between 600 and 1530 AD.
Yep.
And carved from igneous rock.
Yep. So the stones were first documented in the 1930s, during a United Fruit Company land clearing. Hundreds were unearthed, often buried or partially buried. Some were dynamited or broken under the belief they contained gold.
Oh.
Many were moved from their original locations before proper documentation destroying crucial archaeological context.
Weird.
Yep.
And I saw, I mean, they look like big stone balls.
So in one of the videos we watched, just to get back to what we're talking about, how these things were made, is it was speculated that a mold was created and then molten ore or, whatever, hot rocks were poured inside of this mold. Then you crack that mold, out comes a perfectly spherical rock.
Ball.
Yep, balls.
Interesting. I guess I didn't know you could melt rocks. I mean, I knew you could. I mean, that's what magma is.
Lava.
I just didn't know that you could do stuff with that. I guess I never thought about it. But that's not the only place there's big stone balls. So over 6,000 miles away near Zavadavici, is that right?
Sure.
Bosnia, are similar stone spheres with one weighing over 30 tons. Mm. So the artificial civilization hypothesis with these is the spheres are too round to be natural, which, I mean, kind of goes with the straight line theory as well. Nature doesn't make perfect forming things.
Sure.
The iron content suggests advanced material knowledge, which at that time they shouldn't have had. Similarity to the Costa Rican spheres implies a lost global civilization. So maybe people were in contact. I mean, there's lots of proof for that too. Shared ancient knowledge. You see that with the communication, and pre-Ice Age culture, which is all very exciting to me.
Yeah, you're always talking about pre-Ice Age culture and how Manny is your favorite character and you hate Sid because he's always just galumphing along.
Well, I mean, if he just picked up the pace and stopped getting distracted, then they probably would make it to their destination. I mean, they're in a level 4 emergency situation.
And why can't Scrat get that acorn?
Oh my gosh. Pre-Ice Age culture.
It's annoying.
So some of the geological explanations, the mainstream geologists classify many Bosnian spheres as natural concretions. So for when mineral matter precipitates around a nucleus, it can form nearly spherical shapes over a long period of time. And it's found worldwide in Utah, Kazakhstan, and New Zealand. Yeah. But just seeing the images and the videos, these are absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
So I would imagine they were made more than natural.
I think so too.
Yeah. Some concretions can reach massive sizes, contain iron, and appear unnervingly symmetrical. I don't know. So where this debate gets sticky, though, is some Bosnian spheres appear more symmetrical than typical concretions. Others are fractured in ways that suggest shaping or just erosion.
Sure.
And poor documentation and politicized claims muddy the data. I don't know what politicized claims.
Probably like who owns it, why it's there.
Yeah, and some scientists also may say, no, it isn't that old because it disproves something that scientist said.
Well, if it's a UNESCO heritage site, then there's a lot of documentation that needs to be done on that to preserve its authenticity and its historical relevance and how old the thing is. They want all of this information so the things have to stay undisturbed.
Right. And with that, there's no definitive excavation. So that doesn't exist for many of the examples. So this leaves the case in a weird gray area where it's not conclusively artificial because we don't have the data for that, but it's not exactly natural either, which is really just a weird thing. So it's just another mysterious oddball. Oddballs.
Oddballs.
Yeah. Hundreds.
Okay, so let's bring this all home.
Yeah.
When you step back and look at all this together, the weird part isn't that one of these spheres gives us a clear answer. The weird part is how consistently they land in the same uncomfortable space.
Yeah.
The Betz Sphere wasn't clearly alien, but it also wasn't clearly mundane. The Buga Sphere might be modern, but it's wrapped in claims that move faster than the evidence. And the ancient stone spheres prove that humans have been obsessed with making perfect spheres for thousands of years, even when they had no practical reason to do so.
Yeah, they're obsessed with balls.
They're obsessed with balls. But I mean, like, when you get Play-Doh, that's what
you do.
That's one of the first things you do is you just get it and you just wad it up and roll it in your hands and then you make a ball.
Yeah, you make a ball and then you make a snake.
Yeah, and then you make a
In
snake
that order.
and then you split the ball and then you do 2 balls and a snake.
That is the correct order
It's a
to do that.
progression.
Put them together.
Yeah, what do you get?
2 balls and a snake.
Yep, 2 balls and a snake.
So what sphere is the most unsettling for you? I mean, I don't feel unsettled by any of these, actually.
Same. Good. Thank you. You asked me a question and then answered it right away. I appreciate that, Josh.
Yep. Well, that's why they pay me the little bucks.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to get the big bucks by answering more questions.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we get paid. The more questions we answer.
That's why we do quizzes at the end.
Yep. That is exactly why we do quizzes at the end. So like you were saying,
which one's most believable?
I find a little bit in each one. I especially like the ancient ones because, like we were saying, it could be currency, which is kind of where I fall on that, currency, or maybe art. I mean, we can't just rule out plain boredom. You know, people want to create.
I mean, maybe. Was there much to do back then?
No, exactly. And so just like making stone balls just became like a thing and it was fun. And now you're the balls guy.
Yeah.
You know, in your village, your community.
There's just one man obsessed with balls.
And then pass it on to his kids. Or like he maybe had an understudy, an intern.
I can see that.
Somebody that was interested in it. And then he passed that on to that person.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, if I'm looking at like aliens, yes, maybe no. Or hoax, maybe no. I mean, the Buga Sphere, that one, I am a little skeptical just because there is, like they said, the data for the collection, the videos cut.
It looks kind of fake.
Yeah, the government hasn't come and taken it. The x-rays were kind of done in weird circumstances. Like it took a while. I don't know. It's just weird. So that one, I'm not 100% convinced. The Betz Sphere, I mean, there's really nothing I can argue with that. I mean, it's just odd in every way.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the more convincing. I don't think that's a hoax at all. I think it is just a weird thing. I don't know if it's extraterrestrial. I don't know if any of these are extraterrestrial.
I don't
actually.
For me, this doesn't ring that bell for an extraterrestrial phenomena. These all feel very human.
Right. And most everything that I've seen on this, it is under the veil of it being extraterrestrial. Mm-hmm. So I think a lot of people do believe that these are real and it is extraterrestrial. I think a lot of people also think they're hoaxes.
Sure.
But obviously the ancient stones, those aren't hoaxes.
Josh, it's not part of this show. What do you think?
So if it comes to aliens for me, I'm going to say no to maybe.
Okay. I'm going to say no, firmly no.
Okay. I can respect that.
The one thing that might get me close was, talking about it as if it were like a battery and being able to store energy, no heat. That might be what gets me closer to a maybe, but...
Do you think that the Navy did know what it was and withheld that? You don't think they...
No, I don't know.
I mean, if they came back to potentially take it, that's weird.
I mean, what obligation do they have to let anybody know that this kind of...
They don't have any obligation, I don't think.
Yeah, like to go back and tell the Betz family or any of these other groups that have discovered these things. Like, they have no obligation to report back to them and say like, oh, yeah, but this was an extraterrestrial, or no, it wasn't.
Well, especially if there's a really deep society in the government and military keeping extraterrestrial existence hidden, so they would absolutely not if they did find something. But I mean, it's just it going missing is very odd and being replaced. So so making the phone call too.
Maybe, yeah, you never know. Like maybe they broke it. They like took it and somebody
glued it back together.
Or they just like someone had the dropsies, they dropped it and they're like, fuck, we got to commission this to somebody else. And then they brought that artist, the balls artist in, James Dulong or whatever his name was. And he made some balls.
Could be.
You never know.
Well, they broke it. They dropped it and broke it.
Yep.
Put it back together. It didn't work. And the Betz family was mad about it.
Yeah.
Which I would be.
Yeah. And hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And offended. Yeah, for sure.
So that is this topic. I'm really glad because I've heard a lot about this stuff. I never really dove in deeper. So it was cool actually hearing about this. And I've heard these compared. So when the Buga Sphere came up, I saw that a handful of times. I did notice that they talked about and compared it to some other balls that have been found.
Sure.
So it's cool kind of putting it all together for our balls episode. Our strange spheres, our mystery spheres.
Uh-huh. Love it.
Let us know what you guys think. I'm sure some of you have seen some weird balls. Don't send any pictures of weird balls. You don't need that.
No, go ahead and do it.
No.
Go ahead and do it.
Have it say in the show notes, send ball pics here.
Yep. Perfect.
But what they should do is tell your friends about the show. That's a really great way for you guys to support us. We're kind of grassroots. We're not advertising. We're not doing anything of that. So it's either people stumble upon us or they're told about us. So if you guys want to help us out, that would be terrific.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We're just a little pop and pop podcast shop. That was going to be the name of this podcast before we came up with our working one.
Yep.
Two Dads in Space.
So that is our episode. And now we get into the fun part. It's all fun, but I really enjoy this part. Our quiz.
Uh-oh.
But I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back.
Okay. So while Josh is in the bathroom, probably all that balls talk, he just wanted to make sure that they were still there. I accidentally looked at the quiz. So really exercising all of my willpower not to fill it out and cheat ahead of the show. This is tough. Real tough. But listener, you will never hear this. This is really only for Josh. And he won't hear this until he's editing. So he'll never know. If I do well on this quiz, then I'm fucked. Because then it'll be known that I cheated. What?
Did you open it up and cheat?
What? No.
I heard right when I put my headphones on, you said cheated.
No. I was talking about a grass that we have in our yard.
I heard he'll know that I cheated.
No, it's grass is growing on our hill.
All right.
I know that it's cheated grass.
Did you open up the quiz already? Do you know the topic?
Hold on.
Holding for no reason.
Okay. I had to open up the email.
Okay. Nuclear incursions.
Nuclear incursions? What a surprise.
Huh. So, okay. What does incursions mean?
Great question, Josh. Great question.
Like occurrences?
It is obviously an invasion or attack, especially a sudden or brief one.
Oh, nuclear attacks? Okay. I don't know if I'm ready for this.
An incursion means a sudden, often hostile entry or attack into a territory or activity that belongs to someone else, like a military raid, an invasive species entering a new area, or even a brief, unexpected involvement in someone's private affairs. Uh-oh.
Jeez.
Implying an aggressive or unwanted intrusion. It's essentially an invasion or raid, but can also describe less serious, unexpected involvements. That is from the internet.
And we're talking aliens, so this is going to be...
We're talking aliens and nuclear aliens.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'll see what's going on. So let's get right into this. So first question. Which decade marks the earliest documented UAP incidents involving U.S. nuclear missile facilities? Is it A, 1950s, B, 1960s, C, 1970s, or D, 1980s?
Great question.
I don't know. I mean, is it like right when we got them?
I'm going to say the 50s because
that's what I was thinking.
That is like
too.
Right on the tail of us entering the nuclear age.
Yeah, I'm going to say 50s as well for the same reason. It's like, why would it not start when it started?
Yeah.
You know?
And the reason I'm saying that is like, this is relatively new technology, 50s, like a little over a decade old, right? So they're going to be hyper vigilant with who is spying on this technology.
That's true. And from what we've heard kind of in some of the episodes that we've done, they are really interested, or they speak about our nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
They are interested. So, yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Next question. Which modern U.S. facility has acknowledged ongoing unauthorized aerial incursions over restricted nuclear-related airspace since 2018? Oh my gosh. Okay. Is it A, Los Alamos National Laboratory, B, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, C, Cheyenne Mountain, or D, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base? I think it's Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. I've heard that.
Do you?
I've heard that, and I don't
Okay.
know why, but I think there's some big things about that base. I don't remember what it is.
Some funky shit going down.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a hot spot. What do you think?
Well, I love a spooky mountain, so I'm going to say Cheyenne Mountain. A lot of bunkers show up inside mountains,
They
especially
do.
in movies, shows, in fantasy, dwarves famously carving out the inside of mountains.
That is true.
It's a natural bunker.
But that's for our other show, Dwarves, yes, but maybe no.
Yeah. Love that one.
Did a dwarf make this?
I don't know. Does it look good?
Yes.
Then yes.
Okay, next one. What occurred at Malmstrom Air Force Base in March 1967? A, an energy blackout across Montana. So it's in Montana.
Or maybe that's the wild part. It's not in Montana.
Oh, yeah. B, intercontinental ballistic missiles became non-operational. C, a power failure affecting the base. Or D, UFOs were photographed by civilians. I mean, I think if this is newsworthy, probably the ballistic missiles became non-operational. That's what I think. Because that's the weirdest thing. If someone can tap into and disable.
Well, there's 2 blackouts on here.
I mean, a power failure would be really bad too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, what did you say?
I said the ballistic missiles become non-operational.
Okay. Montana, even back then, there's not a lot of people in Montana.
They're still not.
And still, I mean, maybe a little more now, but I'm going to say, because the question is Air Force Base, I'm going to say power failure affecting the base.
All right. So next question. Who smuggled Soviet military documents describing UFO activity out of Russia? I know this. Do you know this?
We talked about it.
Okay, so first answer is it A, Jacques Vallée?
Yeah.
B, Lou Elizondo?
Yeah.
C, Stanton Friedman?
Yeah.
Or D, George Knapp?
Coolest guy ever.
It's George Knapp.
Yeah. International spy.
You know what's interesting is a year ago, I didn't know any of these people. And then doing this show, I've been able to know. And now I know just from the congressional hearing alone. I mean, George Knapp talked about that in the 2025 hearing.
Pretty cool.
Really cool. Okay. So that was your answer as well, right? I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Next one. The 1982 Soviet UAP incident took place in what region? A, Siberia. B, the Ukrainian SSR. C, Kazakhstan. Or D, Eastern Germany.
I'm going to say weird old Siberia. It's cold. Weird stuff happens in the cold. It's isolated.
Yeah, it's like one of those, like, kind of like Antarctica. Like, if I were to hide something, it would probably be there because no one's going to go out there.
That's where you hide all of your Russian superheroes, too.
Yeah. Wolverine.
Sabretooth. Heard of him? Who else? Red guy that's Russian's Captain America? That guy?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
If you're going to hide something, hide it where it's cold and where the superheroes are.
Yeah. All right. Last one. According to Soviet military reports from 1982, what technical anomaly occurred during the UAP sightings? Is it A, missile silo doors opened automatically? B, radar stations lost all tracking capability? C, communication systems experienced electrical impulses? Or D, uncontrolled missile launch? Oh.
Oh, man. Experienced that before, Josh?
I don't recall. I feel like if there is a missile launch, an uncontrolled missile launch, I would have heard about it. Because that's huge.
Pretty scary.
I'm going to say missile silo. Well, missile silo doors open automatically. That's weird. I mean, that means that like they're about to go off, which would be terrifying. Radar systems, that would be scary because if there's missiles coming in, then you wouldn't be able to see them and then counter that. I'm going to say missile silo doors opening automatically. That would be, I think, the scare, other than the missile launching itself, which I would have heard about. I think that one's the scariest.
That one would be really scary.
When you think of a nuclear base and the silo doors, they like flip a switch and then the doors start opening. And then the next thing is you turn the key. So this is like prepping for a potential launch. All right. What do you think?
Well, I'm glad you vamped for so long because I still don't know. So I'm going to go with my gut and say radar stations lost all tracking capability.
Okay.
Submit.
All right. We'll submit our answers and view our accuracy. Oh, I did bad.
Oh, man, I did bad.
Hey, we got the George Knapp one. That's good.
You got it.
Didn't you say George Knapp too?
Yeah.
Oh, so you did too. Okay. So we'll go through which decade marks the earliest documented UAP incidents involving U.S. nuclear facilities.
Okay.
I said the 50s. You said the 50s. It was the 60s.
Swinging 60s.
Yeah. Which modern U.S. facility has acknowledged ongoing unauthorized aerial incursions over restricted nuclear-related airspace since 2018? I said Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
I said Cheyenne Spooky Mountain.
It was Los Alamos National Laboratory, which is where Bob Lazar said he worked.
Yeah, classic.
They just want their stuff back.
Yeah. I knew that was the right answer.
Did you? I didn't think I had no idea.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I'm always betting against myself.
I also didn't know that was restricted nuclear airspace either. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Next one. What occurred at Malmstrom Air Force Base in March 1967? I said intercontinental ballistic missiles became non-operational.
Yeah. And I said a power failure affecting the base. You were right, though.
It was the missiles becoming non-operational. And then the next one, who smuggled Soviet military documents describing UFO activity out of Russia. You know him. You love him.
Wow, George Knapp.
Yeah. George Knapp.
The star of our show.
Star of my dreams.
Oh, boy.
Not
Hubba,
not
Hong Kong.
not bad dreams.
Beep, beep. No, they're good. If he shows up. Actually, you know what? If he shows up in your dream, I don't know. Maybe good.
Hopefully.
Maybe bad. Maybe scary.
It would probably be like, oh shit's going down.
Yeah.
All right, next one. 1982 Soviet UAP incident took place in what region? I said Siberia.
I said Siberia.
It was the Ukrainian SSR. Okay, not a lot right. And then finally, last one. According to Soviet military reports from 1982, what technical anomaly occurred during the UAP sightings? I said missile silo doors open automatically.
And I picked radar stations lost all tracking capability like an idiot.
And we were both wrong.
Yep.
It was communication systems experience electrical impulses, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to look at nuclear facilities having potential UAP interactions and sightings. Interesting.
Whoa.
I've heard this mentioned a few times, but I don't know anything about it. And George Knapp mentioned that Russia, from the documents that he brought back, he mentioned that Russia has experienced some stuff at nuclear sites, but that's all I knew, just that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. Well, I'm excited to dive into this.
Yeah, be fun.
Yeah, get a little more knowledge in my brain dome.
You're really trying to get that to take off. Okay.
Is that not a thing?
I mean, it will be once this podcast gets released.
That's true.
Everybody's going to be calling it Brain Dome.
Well, thank you for listening again. Reach out, tell a friend. Thank you, Jordan, for doing all the hard and difficult work, and we get to have fun talking about it.
Yep.
Yeah, she's a researcher. She puts everything together, and she does a phenomenal job. She writes these quizzes, which are super fun. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will chat at you next episode with the nuclear incursions.
Hey, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.